Hey guys, Real Life here. Before we start the video, I just want to give you a warning. I'm using an extremely annoying voice in this video. Alright, here we go.
1 star out of 5. Easily the worst experience I have ever had with service and management. And I can confidently say that me and my friends will never return to this establishment. A few weeks prior, I had been to this place for the first time and loved it so much that I wanted to bring some different friends out to introduce them to it. When I came, the first time I arrived around 7, stayed for the band set and had some drinks with my date and had a fantastic time. The next time around, I made reservations to ensure a seat for the band and agreed to be the designated driver for the night. My friends ordered a few beers and a meal, and I got a Diet Coke. After a few hours, one friend settled up and left. Shortly afterward, we were approached by our waiter and a group of 4 men. We were told rudely, not asked, that we had to give up our table to this party of 4 and were to move to somewhere in the corner. In essence, the request made sense. Clearly 2 people should be at a 2-person table. However, the server did not approach it politely, and it was the party of 4 who apologized and thanked us for moving. Very soon after moving, and without requesting it, we were served with our bill. My bill was a bit confusing. $6 for 1 Diet Coke. When I asked for clarification from our server, I was rudely told that I had been charged extra because I had been sitting for a long time and hadn't ordered much. I felt pretty uncomfortable with this idea, as it seems a bit unethical to overcharge someone on the grounds of sitting in an establishment. I spoke with a much more reasonable female server who I was more comfortable with, and the problem was easily rectified. During the interaction, however, a regressive server came over and watched over me as I paid, shaking his head in disgust and whispering to the server that helped me. This left me deeply uncomfortable, and I thought that I would let management know that we were not feeling the best about our server. The manager actually saw me coming and approached me aggressively. I explained how things were handled and how displeased we were with the service. She immediately became defensive and told us that our server was angry because he was losing money on our table and that it could have been turned over 4 times by now. She told me they were a restaurant and we all needed to be ordering food and that we had stayed too long without ordering enough. I was appalled that any manager would say these things to a paying customer, and told her we weren't aware of any of these policies and that she seemed like she was being quite confrontational. I thanked her for her time, stated that I didn't think that the conversation was going to end constructively, and went back to my table, with nothing resolved. Soon after, our aggressive server came with the machine, prompting us to settle our bill about 3 times within a minute. We were not ready to leave, as the band we came to see was still playing. After this, another server came to us and asked us to leave, claiming they had other customers that wanted our table. The party next to us saw this and offered for us to sit with them so we could watch the last of the show. Then, something bizarre and infuriating happened. The manager or owner came to the table with fistfuls of cash, which she slammed down in front of me and my friend. She yelled that we could have our money back for our food and drinks, and that we needed to get out now, and she pointed to the door. We were appalled, confused, and extremely frustrated. Interactions with people like this are rare and hardly ever occur with managerial staff. I can't help but feel like there was something imbalanced with this woman. As such, an irrational reaction was completely unwarranted and unjust. Needless to say, that will be the last time we ever go to this place. I would advise people to avoid the abhorrent service and management here. Good music is easy to find in this place, and it's not worth the headache of dealing with the unstable owner.
Hi, I know your real name. Cute fake name though. This is me, the unstable owner. I already responded at length to the TripAdvisor review you had your friend write for you a couple months ago. I assume that's what prompted this new rant 8 weeks on. Glad you finally worked up the cajones to write your own review. Kudos. Once again, here is my response. In the 9 years we have been open, I have never publicly responded to a negative review. But your comments are of the alternative fact variety, and I intend to defend myself. Part of me feels the pettiness of doing this, but a larger part of me needs to stand up for my staff and against the attitude of guests like you. Incidentally, I have also never asked a guest to leave my establishment, except that one guy who was puking on the dinner table at his company Christmas party, but that was for his own good. I stand 100% by my decision to do this with you, and did so after I returned your money, all $3.15 of it, in full. You were rude, disrespectful, and above all, entitled. Traditionally, when guests make dinner reservations, they are planning to, come for dinner. For band view tables, we typically impose a 2.5-hour seating limit in order that other patrons can enjoy the show once the first wave of diners have finished their meals. More than 3 hours after your arrival, we asked if you would mind moving to a smaller table while we waited for you to pay, since we had a lineup at the door. This was a pretty reasonable expectation since neither you nor your friend had ordered anything in over an hour. You begrudgingly moved, and we brought the bill. You weren't happy about not getting a free pop refill. You found a manager, complained, was apologized to, and had the second pop removed. Despite this, you then complained to the bar manager, then to me, about the aggressive service in moving you. I apologized for the fact that we should have been clearer over the phone about table times and dining, and were in the wrong. But perhaps that would explain some of the server's frustrations. None of these apologies were sufficient, and you let us know it. At 11 p.m., 4 hours after arrival, and 2.5 hours since anything had been ordered, you finally paid. Then just sat and watched as we turned away table after table that came to the door. If you'd been treated so horribly, why stay for hours afterward? Finally, my floor manager respectfully asked that you vacate the table to make way for other patrons. Instead, you then just moved over and intruded on another table. At that point, I'd had enough. You were inconveniencing other guests. I figured if I refunded your money, you would no longer be a paying customer, and I could then in good conscience ask you to leave, which is what I did. Myself and my staff have put blood, sweat, tears, and years into building this business in an effort to keep live music vibrant in Vancouver. We don't charge cover for our shows, but we do expect guests to have a basic awareness of the fact that we are running a business. I can understand that some people may not want to come for dinner, and I can understand that some people aren't big drinkers. But I can't abide somebody living in such a self-absorbed bubble that they don't realize why giving attitude over a $3 bill is frustrating to service staff, and then judging us as being aggressive or unstable. Your server is one of the kindest and most generous people I know. The only aggressive one was you. And when it became clear to me that you thought it was your divine right to camp out for the evening and expect to be treated respectfully after being so blatantly disrespectful to my staff and spending $3, I asked you to leave. You're not at McDonald's, honey. Did I handle myself as professionally as I could have? In the beginning, sure, I did. But almost 5 hours in? Hells no. I was offended, irritated, and stunned that an adult would behave in such a childish manner. You can't come into my house and behave like that. I did not at any point yell or slam fistfuls of cash. How do you slam a fistful of 3? But I did tell you to get out, and I didn't ask nicely. At some point, you have to defend your livelihood. For future reference, here's some advice on how to get free pop refills in restaurants. Behave like a grown-up. Be nice to your server. And if you sit at a table for 4.5 hours and order 2 Diet Cokes while enjoying a free show and then quibble over your $6 bill, then you are probably going to be met with some frustrations by the time you have complained to 4 different people about it. Also, you may want to try an exercise called self-reflection before hiding behind a fake name on the internet and branding somebody as unstable or imbalanced. Your behavior was disgraceful and you should be embarrassed. Go take your pocket change and entitlement elsewhere. We're all good here, thanks. Now that is a beautiful mic drop to an entitled choosing beggar. Excellent. Fire pit, free. Hi, is this still available?
Hey Chris, it is still available. It is yours if you still want it.
Thank you. Do you have pictures, please?
Post it on the ad.
Lol, free cause it's useless garbage. You were a kind-hearted and thoughtful lady. Weird insult, but okay. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and have a great day. See you again next time.